Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're about to have another adventure, and as you can see, we're out in the van, and through that door is green stuff. But beyond that green stuff is slate stuff. We are on our way up onto a quarry. The quarry name will be coming down on the bottom of the screen. I think it's called Maeniffren M-A-E-N-F-F-E-R-E-N, something like that, quarry. And this quarry closed in 1999, was the last people to be working here, but it did open up in the 1800s, I think. So yeah, this quarry's been here a long time, but it's the only something quarry, and we won't let you know until we get up there to what this special quarry is. But it's not unlike some of the other quarries. It's got its own unique thing about it. And for this, we need some special gear to be taken with us, so expect to see us looking a little bit silly a little bit later on. And we're not sure how far we're going to go with it. But yes, we're going to take you up the quarry, we're going to show you around. This is a beautiful place to take photographs as well if you're into your photography. So of course I'll be doing my photography channel as well at the same time. And yeah, come along and enjoy the adventure. We're on the move, eventually, after going back in and out the van about 10 times, picking up things like sticks and gloves and hats and whatnot. But we are on the move, and we're straight out of the van and straight up a hill. Don't you just love doing that? My God, here we go. Are we there yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. So today we're out with Daryl. It was Daryl's idea, so blame him for everything. The weather, the conditions, the hills, and everything that happens today. It's his fault. He's just turned up. The two vans are down there, parked up down there, and yep, Dora's here. She's ready to go, fully kitted up. We've got Dora 2.0 today. We've got lights and torches. We've got a mega mother torch there, a super torch, and yeah, fully loaded up, and it feels like it. Whew, that definitely warms you up. Straight out of the van, straight up a hill. But look at that view behind already. We are up in the Slate Quarry, and this is a location I haven't actually been before. Now I know this channel is quite new, but my photography channel has been going now for about 8 years. I've been to lots of areas and lots of places, but I've never been up to this side of the quarry. I've been over the other side, whatever it's called, where the lake is and the big like mansion ruins, but I've never actually been up this side. And like I say, it's all his fault. It was all his fault. It's a suggestion to come in along, and I'm like, yeah, come on, let's do this. I haven't been out for a long time. How you doing? Out of breath?
Go under.
So yeah,
Before we go down.
that's a steep bit done. We've probably got some more steep bits to do, but at least we're warming up now. Wow, definitely opens up when you get up here. Definitely opens up. And we've got public footpath. You are actually, you can see there, you are actually allowed up it. This is a public footpath. It just depends how far you go and where you want to go. Of course, you've also got heavy plant machinery and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a footpath. It's a wee bit windy, definitely a bit windy and chilly. The temperatures have dropped dramatically over the last day, and they're going to drop even more into next week, hitting some very low temperatures. We've gone from being like 17, 18s to next week's going to be more like 5s and 6s. So that's a big drop. And last night in the van, it dropped a bit, and my hands are cold. I've got gloves in my pocket, but we're heading up into the quarry now. But this stuff is still being used. They're still using the quarry slag, all the slag heaps and stuff like that. They've been using that, or they still use that now. They're using it for like crush and run and road repairs and gravel, you know, that sort of stuff. That's what they're using it for. So it's good that they're still using the wastes from the 1800 sort of thing. They're still using those wastes now, and obviously all these boulders and things as well they're using. So look at the view. How beautiful is that? And I just noticed that as we're looking back. Look at that chimney there. You can see the chimney sticking up. That's pretty awesome. That looks pretty cool. And over there, there's the digger. That's where you can see it's a working quarry still. And so they are using the slack for groundwork, basically. But yeah, this is definitely warming us up. But now the path looks like it's going to get interesting. Because I think, are we going up there?
Yeah.
Holy crap, we're going up there. So basically, rock climbing now. We're walking up this now almost like a scree slope, okay? So we're walking up this with this massive steep bit up in front of us. And Daryl says, I don't remember a path like this before. And then Daryl says, I think there's a couple of reservoirs at the top. They've probably overflowed and pulled all this down the hill. And I'm standing there thinking, are you having a flipping laugh? We had all this rain for the last 2 days. Those reservoirs could go at any time, and we're standing in its path. What a thing to say. What a thing to say. Is this guy mad? Oh, look at the view we're getting now. Really is opening up. That's the bottom lake. The top lake is up over that way. But yeah, you're getting a good open. It's nice that we're not actually in the cloud base, but this has definitely had, got to be water to crush all this the way it has. It's ripped all this pathway to pieces. And there's machinery. Look at this, you've got wheels and stuff. This is why I love coming to quarries, because you get to see all the old machinery and stuff. And this quarry was still working in the 70s. 92, the actual quarry just closed, didn't it? And then 99 was the last time they actually finished working here. So yeah, 92. That's about what we're looking at, 30 years, 33 years ago. Yeah, they're still working it. They're over there. It's still a working mine for, like I say, road work stuff, crush and run and things like that. Right, we've got to now make our way up that lot. Can you see the path? Ooh, we are up onto the first bit where we've got some buildings and some working sheds. And we've also got signs like over there that says danger of death. Yep, you know you've got to be careful when you see a sign like that. But let's have a look in here. This is one of the old warehouses and one of the old working sheds. You ready for this? Heading on in. There's our tracks. You see our little tracks that would bring the carts in, and they'd come in through here, through that entrance there, and we're inside. We're inside. I was expecting to see a little bit of something in here, but obviously a lot of it's been cleared out. But we are actually inside one of the working sheds.
Good morning. So now Paul put me in charge of the camera, so we'll see, hey. Not much, I don't know much about the quarries itself, but as Paul said, it's been closed since 1992. I was 12, scary if you think about it. But you can still kind of see how it all kind of came up as a production line, isn't it? This is where you're going to have your slate going in, and then those, I think they were actually to put them in a shape as well, to cut them to a shape and a measure. It is just a kind of shame that such a big part of history and British industry is going, or Welsh industry more than anything, it's kind of going to waste. It's been exposed to weather, and it's been exposed to kind of people like us, maybe a little bit nosy and wanted to see. You've got to use your imagination in order to actually see or come up with a way that it actually could look like so many years ago. But yeah, it is very interesting. And as it happens, I've already been here once with a friends of mine, Ross and Mark and Thomas and a couple of other guys, and we actually slept here. We spent the night, which was quite spooky, to be honest with you. But yeah, you can still imagine. I'm hoping that Paul's going to actually put a couple of videos of how it actually looks years ago. But those beans, I mean, oh my God, this is a bean. Those are beans and a half, isn't it? Yeah, at the same time. Okay, enough of me blubbing. Hopefully Paul will cut it to some smaller chunks. Yeah, let's see what's around her.
Dora's just said she's been over there looking at the dressing machines, and there's loads of them on that side. I've just been walking over this side with my photography camera, and there's some more dressing machines over this side. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown spiel as well, because I'm not sure that she got everything, even though she knows what they were because we've seen the videos and that for them. So let me put my stick down, and I come into one that's got no machine in here. It's just typical, isn't it? So let's go around this side. They're on both sides of this shed. This one here, has this one got them in? Yeah, this one is. Right, so let's put my stick down for a sec. This is one of the dressing machines, the same as Marta was showing you over the other side. This one's got a bit of a cage over the top of it to stop you putting your fingers in. But basically, the blade inside, if you can see inside there, the blade is at an angle, so that as it goes round, it sort of slices like this. So this is constantly going around and slicing like this. So you put the slate into this sharp edge here, slate goes into this hole, and as it goes round, it trims the edge of the slate off. So it trims it, they turn it round. They'd have a guide on this edge. They'd have a guide for the sizes, and then it'd trim that, trim it, and gets it all nice and square. And basically what it was doing is this. So there's your slate. You'd be putting your slate in there, like that, and it'd go, and you turn it round, straight edge against the guide, put that end in there like that, and that's how it does. It keeps going round and round and round, and you basically get your nice square edges on your slate, and they're all to a certain size, and then they'll stack them all up here. They'll get them all nice and dressed, and then they'll come out of this hole here. They'll put them onto a cart, and this cart is sitting on these tracks, and then it will go down the shed, because of course it goes all the way down the shed both ways. It will go down the shed, round and out onto probably a train out in the distance, and then maybe out to the docks. And like I say, Marta was showing you over that side, wasn't she, on the dressing side, and then we've got loads on this side as well. It's so cool to see these machines still working. This would have been your drive system for it. There's like a generator and a big wheel down that end, so you've got this big belt that you can see here, this great big belt that runs all the way down the shop, right the way the length of this shop, all the way down. And this would have been coming down here, and it would have probably been turning something here, which would have then been maybe turning something here, and actually keeping them spinning all the time. In fact, there's a wheel at the top there, so what it was probably doing is probably going down the shop, turning something that's turning that wheel, and that then would have been linked to this one, and then that would have been turning the whole machine. That is fascinating, absolutely brilliant. And when you're walking around, you have to be very careful not to step on anything with nails. It's really important to try and keep a good consciousness of what your feet are doing. But look at this, there's another one here. You can see this inside this one. You can see the angle of the cutting blade there. That actually, you can see it there, so it slices at the front to the back. So cool. This one's actually got part of the gauge on it, so this is what they've been putting them onto there to slide them down, and this would have had gauges on it and lines. Even a handle there, maybe a braking system or a gearing system. But this one, the blades are actually missing out of this one. They'd lock in the top. Look at this. Look at this. This would have been, I'm guessing, some sort of furnace or something in here, because that is a chimney. That is a big chimney, so I'm guessing that would have been a furnace, been red hot in here. Whoa, pretty cool. I'm gonna have to just have a quick nose up these steps and see if we can get up there and have a look. I've got a big bag on my back, which is never going to be an easy thing to do. Let's have a look. Oh. We're now up next to the chimney and up on the top of this. Oh, this is insane. There's your chimney, just here.
What are you doing?
Pretty cool. What do you mean, what am I doing up here?
Put your helmet on.
I haven't got my helmet on.
Put it on.
But this is a big metal deck machinery, these big working runners, the wheels, the turners that will turn all the blades, going right down through the shed that way as well. Wow. So we've got another machine here. This one, I'm not quite sure how it works. Let's see if I can get around it without falling on my ass. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not sure how this one works, but I'm guessing someone's put a blade on there. So this probably would have been a bigger section. Maybe you would have had a blade in there. And the idea is this slides backwards and forwards on these two tracks. So it would go backwards and forwards. And then this being a big heavy duty table, they'd probably put the bigger slate on here. And then this would then cut across it to give you sections, so they can actually split them and work them. But that's what I'm gathering that probably would have been doing. So great big chunks been lowered onto here, but in saying that, how do they get them onto here? Is there? Oh, there is, yeah, there's a couple of big RSJs up there, so maybe they had winches and dropped them down on top of this and then splitting them across. But I'm loving this shed. Like I say, I've been in some quarries before, but this one really has some sort of stories to tell.
I've just asked Paul whether he would put this quarry on the same level as the Norwich, where the Norwich is much bigger, isn't it? And you're going up and up and up, because you've got 7 levels there, and you know, you've got workshop at the top of it and everything else. Nevertheless, here you can still feel and you can still kind of see the way that it all run. it's not as decayed as it is in the Norwich. Obviously, the Norwich, you've got 18s, isn't it? 1890 or something. And then you've got 100 years later. Obviously, it wasn't closed so long ago. Nevertheless, it also kind of, you can see this old equipment, and then you've got this nature kind of reclaiming it all at the back, which kind of gives another dimension to it as well. I love it. I absolutely love it. At the beginning, especially yesterday, we were looking at the weather conditions and we were looking at the weather forecast, and it was telling, oh, storm, rain, and everything. And we were like, oh, should we go? And good job, Darren. He was like, no, I'm already on my way, guys. So we could not back out. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let me kind of show you around for those. Oh, I came back to where I've taken over the camera. It's weird, isn't it? What is it that you cannot do? Then again, we've just been on a public path. So yes, you could enter, the premises or this workshop. But then again, you've got a quite contradicting sign. Do not enter. So, but it's there. It's there, I think, just to people to be aware of. I love surroundings. I'm gonna show you around, hopefully. You've got those house remainings at the back, and then you've got those low clouds over the mountains and everything. It is literally stunning. So even if you're gonna come around here and you're not gonna enter the workshop, come here for a little walk because it is quite stunning. I love quarries. I absolutely love them. I love, because this is also exercising your imagination there a little bit, isn't it? How it did look in the past. And I'm hoping that Paul, we're going to give a link to the lad who've actually inspired us to come over here as well, because he's put together a very documentary vlog from his last visit, but also you can see how it actually looked in the past. So it's quite interesting. And if you're feeling artistic, you can put a little sculpture together. Very basic, but this is another Mr. Anderson. There. I'll show you in a minute, Mr. Anderson number 2. That is a little bit bigger. But this one, if you're feeling artistic, there you go. This is obviously a production belt, isn't it? So you can see how all those slates were running from those stations that they were cutting them to the size, isn't it? Onto the belt and then off the side. It is amazing. This is really, truly stunning. Still got the remains of it. Look, obviously people are assholes. I'm sorry, I'm going to swear here, but people are assholes. Take it home. If you want to come here and just have a beer, have it, but put it to your bag. It's not that hard, isn't it? Anyway, going back to the maritime of things, this is a pure example of how they were cut to the size, isn't it? It's been years and years and years in the same station, but it could be quite obvious. We used to have electricity here as well that you could see. In the Norwich, forget it, isn't it? There isn't going to be, but still you're going to have all the electric wires and everything. And then obviously that was all your working station. Wow. Can you imagine working? And then sometimes we complain that our work is hard. Well, try a little bit of this. A bit of a fun fact for you. In its prime, in this quarry worked over 500 people, with half of it actually worked under. So I guess while you worked here, you were quite lucky because obviously you're working under. Not only what you're breathing in, isn't it? It's the conditions that you work in. They're quite atrocious. So yeah, fun fact for you. Over 500 people worked here. So it was a humongous site. And then it actually transformed from the little quarry that it was doing only a couple of 100,000 tons a year to thousands and thousands of being exported and actually supply roofing for not only Wales and UK, but to the rest of the world as well. So yeah, that's a fun fact for you, eh?
Right. So we've come over the other side of the building now. I think Dora's had you, hasn't she, and given you a bit of you've told them all about it, have you?
A little bit.
Little bit, right. So she's just said to me, she said she just doesn't know what this machine's for. So because I work with machinery and stuff like that, I like the idea of working out what it does. Now, obviously, if it's only got moving parts, you can start to sort of deter what it's doing. So you've obviously got a track here. So this thing goes backwards and forwards. So that much we know. So it's obviously for moving that way and that way. And then we've also got a track that direction. So it goes that way as well. So I'm guessing, there's a boot. It won't be an old boot.
It is old.
It won't be an old boot. It looks a bit like my work boots from work. So it's not an old boot, but no, that's not been there for 1990. Someone's put that there. They found it, but we'll take a photograph of that because it looks cool. It looks cool. So my camera's out, and I am doing photography as well. So you want to see the photography channel, PD Photography, you know, all this stuff. Go and have a look on there. But yeah, this is obviously for splitting. I'm guessing it's more of a. I think it's a clamp. I think it's got a clamp on it, so it's more for breaking than it is cutting. That's what I'm guessing.
Would you lower it down? Because that's
that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that this part is for moving up and down along this track. So you get into position. So you've got a big slab of slate probably on top of there. You'd move it down, and then this would go across, and it'd have like a blade on it.
Okay.
And then they wind it down.
Here, isn't it?
Yeah. So then that'd have like a blade on it because it's got fixings on it.
Yeah.
So the blade would be attached to the front of this. And then they'd wind it down, and it would just, I think, snap it.
Snap it? Or
Yeah, I think it's snap it. No, it won't go across because it's not machined. So it's only going to be a slow movement. So I think they'll wind it into position, whether it's over here or over there or in the middle. And then they'll wind it down with the ones on the top here, and that will come down. I think it would crack it and break it into smaller pieces.
Turner.
And that's Turner, is it?
Turner
Boss. This place is really cool. There's so much to see in here. I'm sure Marta's brought you over this side already, but we come over to the other side where you've got these other dressing machines now, and these ones haven't got any cages on them, so you can actually see inside. And then you've got big cogs and wheels on the floor. I don't know if you've seen them already. I don't know if Marta's shown you, but I'm here anyway, so I might as well show you. We've got like I don't know, I suppose that's compressed air in that one, and a Jenny or a big winch motor pump thing there. And then you've got these, look at these big, great big, I think they're probably cast. It could be cast, could be steel. But yeah, they're massive. They're actually so heavy. You're not going to move them at all. They really are heavy. But yeah, they're really, really, really good to see things like that. This building is immense. There's so much in here. Really smart. Gives you that real taste of what was going on. Right, we found something on the other end of the building, and Miss Marta's absolutely fascinated with it. Just check this out. She's now working in the slate mine. Go for it. Don't push it off the end. She's fascinated that this is working and moving up and down. You can still actually move this, and it hasn't corroded up yet.
Next.
Next. So what does it do?
That is super cool. I don't know.
So this one, I'm not quite sure how this one, what it does. So obviously it moves up and down for positioning. I'm thinking that with having these tracks underneath, it's something to do with these tracks. So maybe they bring something underneath. Yeah, there's a trolley there, isn't there, that sit on the tracks. So the big chunks of slate would probably come in on the trolley. It would come underneath this, and then you've got the position back and two, but I don't actually know what it's doing. It's obviously for breaking, splitting, you know, dividing and making slate smaller, but how it works, I don't know. Well, there's a motor, isn't there? So obviously something's going round as well, but I can't quite work out what that might do. There may be a blade on it, but then the blade wouldn't potentially, you know, there's a keyway for a blade there, but you've got this underneath. So whether it's something, I don't know. I can't quite work out what that one does.
This is homework.
Like that, you see that on there, that great big slab there? It'd be something like that. It's for breaking them up or making them for, because they'll all be going down into the workshop, down into there to be dressed. So this is a beginning to the end, you know, so somewhere breaking up big sections, I would have thought. Good job we're not inside the fences that have been blown down, isn't it? And it works, look, more moving parts. Look at the sign there, look at that. It's nothing like being very blunt and very obvious and very straight to the point, really. Danger of death. That's the end of it. All right, we've got more exploration, more adventure. We're going in another shed to have a little nose in this one. See what we've got in here. This one's a bit more darker and dingier. Ooh. Oh, we got, this looks like where the workmen would have kept their shoes and their boots and their spanners and packed lunch maybe. Quite possibly in there, and God only knows what's in that one. I don't know, but all interesting stuff. Bit of a wheelbarrow. Give it a clue, there's the old bit there, and the wheel should be on the front there. And this is why I like coming in these places, because your mind is wandering and you're trying to work out what things were and what they did. Now, I know there are videos on this place, so I'll try and show you a little bit of stuff that I found. Oh, an old workshop. It's very dark in here. I think the camera's just about picking it up. But that's super cool. So this would be like a tool shop, maybe for fixing tools and maybe repairing brake bands and stuff like that. And it's even darker in there. I've got a torch somewhere attached to me. Let's see if I can find my torch. There we go, we've got some light on the subject now. That is just full of bits and pieces. A bit scary really. There's a rack on the wall. Just checking the floor, making sure I don't step on anything. Like I said, nails and things are awful. There's all sorts of stuff in here. I could have a right route around in there. Look at that, it looks like someone's been chained to the wall there. And we've got hooks and grappling things up on the top. And there's a saw blade. Looks pretty cool, saw blade. Some light switches. I wonder if they still work. Should we try them and see if they work? Is there any lights on in here? No. Wouldn't I have been shocked if that had come on? It's obviously for washing and cooking. That's really scary. Woo. Big grappling hook. I wonder what was hanging off of that. I don't know where Marta's gone. She's disappeared. Hello. There she is. She's outside that window there. Danger of death. There's lots of stuff in here. So you're enjoying this adventure? Is this the sort of adventure you've been longing for? There's an electrical cupboard, I would have thought. Big storage container. Sort of stuff I make at work. This is big wooden storage containers, transport containers. There's a door, an original wooden door with some hinges on it. Bit of gallows for hanging a shelf. This is very nice. Very good roof on it still. Very, very good roof. But yeah, this is a proper little adventure. So enjoying being somewhere I've not been before. Really cool. And then we've got, look at all this machinery in here. This would be like an electromagnet type of thing. So that would cause this to spin with electricity, an electromagnet.
Is that electric?
Yeah, that's like an electromagnet, I think. This would react against this and then it would spin.
Really?
Something like that, yeah. There's bits missing, but there would be like a positive and negative charge, I think, which would make that and whine. I'm sounding really clever. Oh, I see. And then you get things like this. You see like that, a hole there. You're walking along and suddenly your foot's down a bleeding hole. So that's why it's always good to keep your eyes half down as well. Another big electrical cupboard. So yeah, this would have been like an electrical charge thing. So this would have been coils in all the power, and that's probably for running it, I would have thought. All this stuff is guesswork. If you do know better and you can give answers, please do, because I'm always loving to know the correct wheres and whys for anything. We've got some slate off the roof there. Nice bits of dressed slate for your roof. Oh, and some more danger of death. And that's probably because, you know, like I say, you've got to be careful coming these places because you don't know what you're going to be stepping on or falling and tripping. This is because he's got his wellies on and I haven't got my wellies on. I didn't wear my wellies. I wore my waterproof socks instead. So I don't particularly want to get my boots totally drenched if I can help it until I have to. There's lots of stuff around here. It'll be time to come back and have another explore in a nice day. T-shirt weather, you know, the sort of thing where I can just wander around and have a look. But this is a lovely workshop. This is the sort of place where I'd end up working, somewhere like this. Look at all the stuff going on in here. We've got a lathe. We can tell it's a lathe because there's your jaws there. That's the jaws. So you put your parts in there and then the spindle there, and then this will be spinning, and then your tools will be sitting on top of this thing, and you basically lean your tools in and grind away whatever it is you're doing there. Massive. That's a big monster of a lathe, that is. That's not no small lathe. And then we've got workbench with a little drawer in it. This is a pillar drill, I would have thought, or is it a press? Yeah, I suppose it could be a drill. And there's your vise. That's your moving vise. So that slides around this table, and this gives it a clue here as well. This drives it around the table, and you can lock it into position on there. And then you see these little drill points.
Yep.
Very cool. And you've got these little holes on the top there where the drills have been coming down, going through your work and actually drilling into your bench, which is extremely naughty. Shouldn't be doing that. So that is a massive pillar drill. Huge. That is not small.
Am I going to have to watch our
Not
vlog
small.
for me to find out?
To find out what it is, yeah, it's a pillar drill. So there's a drill bit goes in there, and it going round and round and round and round and round. That's your vise, and you slide your vise across, and you lock it onto these holes, and then the drills go down. So it can be moved. The bed will be moved probably, so you can move the bed around. They've gone straight through the work and then hit the thing below it. That's a press, some sort of a vice press. It's pretty cool. See if any of the ones at the back work. Daryl's going in. Go on, Daryl, go for it. It'd be well seized, I would have thought. But that is hell of a drill, that is. It makes my one at work look like a little toy. And that one there's a lathe. The one behind, just a lathe. So that's for milling stuff down. So it goes into there, spins round. This is a boot. No, this will be a grinder. Looks like a grinder, tool sharpener. Yep, there's your grinding wheel there. So there's your grinding wheel. This will be spinning around and be sharpening all your tools, your drill bits, your blades and things like that. There's another one here, ground all the way down. So that's a grinder. This is a full history lesson, this is, isn't it? Another looks like a lathe bed. I would have thought that is. And then this one is a cutter, isn't it?
That bed will move backwards and forwards.
That's similar to that great big one we saw down there earlier, wasn't it? So that goes up and down a splitter, like a cutter, I would have thought. So it just comes down and you can actually make it sort of split things in half.
I think the work's fastened to the bed, and the bed moves backwards.
Bed moves up and down, yeah. Yeah, it looks like that could be a cutter, a splitter, like a press type thing, and another workbench. It's going to have a nose in the other room. There's no longer a rope ladder. There's one run left on it. Is that your new pair of boots? Looks very nice. Dora the Explorer's exploring. What we got in here? Anything you can tell us? What we got in here?
Wellington.
A Wellington workbench. That's about it.
Yeah, workbench.
That's all we can do for this
And
one.
then we've-
Just be careful of nails on the floor in here. So we've come into another building. This one's got a very poorly roof. More workbenches, lots of timbers that have come out the roof probably. And we've got a big saw blade going on over there. Can we get over near it so we can have a little bit of a nose for you? There's a big saw blade there. That's really awesome and cool. And remember, every footstep we're watching for nails on the floor, just in case we step on any timbers. See, that's a nail there. So anything with a nail sticking up, you really don't want to be stepping on. Look at that for a saw blade. If I put my hand near that, look how big that is. That would just be spinning away. Goes underneath the bench there. Spinning away like mad. And there's your fence. So your fence then, you wind your fence in to get your fence in position, and then you'd be pushing your stuff through it. But that is one massive, massive saw blade. And then we come into the last building on this side. And this is obviously the hot shop. We've got two chimney breasts there, two chimneys. So these would have been fired up. These would have been nice and hot. These have been from bending the metal. And then you've got your metal rack there. This would have been all your bits of steel work, your pipe work, bits of iron work and stuff from making into tools and machines. Because there's lots of bolts and nuts and things on the floor. So this would have been your hot shop for your heating metal, bending it and stuff like that. Again, absolutely fascinating. This would have been roasting warm in here, I would have thought. There is a contraption there. Don't quite know what that one does. But yeah, very, very cool. Let's just get across this bit of timber. Look at these. These would have been raging furnaces, all the fire going up there, probably coming in this way, I would have thought. Let's have a little look round that side. Look at that. Maybe amazing, amazing, amazing. And then you've got this big workbench here. This would have been, oh, this is all your nuts and bolts and screws. These have been little pockets. We're probably keeping all your, like these bolts and screws and nuts and things that are in here. These would have been all your pockets for all your different bits of shrapnel that you want. Look at them all in here, buckets and buckets of rivets. That's what they are, they're rivets, they're not screws, are they? They're actually rivets. How amazing is that? So yeah, fascinating, fascinating, fascinating stuff. So we've come out now, we've come out of our buildings. That's where we've just been wandering around and exploring and having our little adventure in there. But we're not done yet. We are now going to go and have a look somewhere else. Now this part gets very, very interesting because on the back of Marta's bag, there's a helmet. And on the back of his bag, Daryl's got a helmet. And on the back of my bag, I've got a helmet. That should give you a clue. We're going somewhere where we might bash our head, even I'll bash my head in there. So I think we're going to end the video here and we're going to start a second part and I'm going to take you down into the quarry. And I'm a bit scared about doing it, but we're going to see what happens. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2. Come and say hello there. But for me and Dora, Explorer, and Daryl down that way, we're going to say bye, ciao for now, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in part 2. And don't be scared. Ta-da.
Because I am.